and let the participants join. So welcome all of you to this another series of webinar hosted by Ahalya School of Management. And today it's a proud moment for us because today the presenter is our alumnus, Mr. Siju Rajan. And I'm not extending more. I have another fantastic personality here who is going to introduce our guest to us. She is Sri Lakshmi, a final year MBA student of Ahalya School of Management. Sri Lakshmi, are you able to hear me? Yeah, Sri Lakshmi, please do come forward, and I request you to please welcome the guest and introduce our speaker to the participants. Please go ahead, Sri Lakshmi. Kekunilla, Sri Lakshmi, your mic is muted.
Okay. Now,
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead, please.
Good evening, all. Myself is Lakshmi, and I'm here to welcome our chief guest, Siju Rajan. He is none other than business coach, HRD trainer, entrepreneur, and also a blogger. He also posts graduate degree in management and another one in commerce, qualified UGC NET in commerce and as well as in management, and also Kerala set in commerce. He trained more than 6,000 people across Kerala on various disciplines like entrepreneurship development, goal setting, marketing, sales, and branding, and also many more. He is the personal business coach of many small and medium-scale business units across Kerala. Alongside, he is eminent YouTuber and made 120 plus business videos. Siju Rajan is the founder of Ever Institute, which provides trainings on sales and marketing, business branding, business marketing, human resource development, and many more. And he is the co-founder of Kerala Head of Online Business Group, based in Mumbai, which deals and supplying and business support service. Thank you. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Sri Lakshmi. Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can all hear you, Siju. Yeah, go ahead, Siju. You can all hear you. And we are so glad that you are here. And so proud moment for us, actually. No, for our student is coming forward and conducting us a webinar. This is a proud moment for us. Go ahead, please.
Thank you so much. Can you see me?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, great. So, good evening all, and thank you so much for inviting me, especially the Ms. Bindu ma'am and all the persons who have been in this webinar. And thank you so much, Sri Lakshmi, for this wonderful welcoming. I don't want to make it is a pretty kind of a lecture mode. So what I really wanted is just a minute. There are almost 56 people, right? 52 people were joined right now. So there are 52 brains here, 52 perceptions, 52 visions, 52 kind of thoughts. So instead of making it as a lecture mode, I would like to make it as a discussion kind of webinar. So I prepared something, but what I really wanted is I want to interact with all of you. What the basic quality of a leader or entrepreneur is to get information from people, the team, and gather together and make a conclusion out of it. So I'm doing the same here. So I request everyone to open your chat box. Basically, I'm a trainer, so I request everyone to open your chat box, please. And if you can hear me, send me a big hi. If you can hear me, send me a big hi. There's no formality. There's no formality here. Okay. Great. Only this much.
People are typing, so you be patient.
Just make it fast. Ragesh sir, good evening, sir. Hi. Okay.
Good evening, Siju.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
Fine.
CB Matthew, hi. Anila, hi. 60 participants right now. That's really great.
And more to join, actually. People will join.
Okay. Sangeeta ma'am, namaskaram ma'am. Vanakkam ma'am.
Hi, Siju.
I'm really happy that ma'am class. I'm really proud and very happy. Okay.
Now for us also. Now for us also.
Actually, it's not a class, it's just a discussion. Well, that's great, 63 participants right now. Well, I request everyone to open your chat box because we'll be discussing further. My topic is Industry 4.0. It's more of a theoretical kind of a topic. So you can easily get it from Google or YouTube or whatever the information you need. So you don't require me here to explain all these things. But as a trainer, my duty is to realize you how the future will be based on the past and present. What's going to happen next and how to prepare for the future. I know there are a lot of students who are studying in MBA college, ASM, my college, and who were joined here. And also there are a lot of people who wish to join there. So it will be definitely helpful. And I know there are some lectures also there. So it will be definitely helpful for them also. And let me ask you a simple question. What's the first thing or what's the first term which comes to your mind when you hear the term Industry 4.0? The first term, I don't need a sentence, I need a term. The first term which comes to your mind when you hear the term Industry 4.0, just type it. I'll note it down. Innovation, automation, great. Fourth industrial, great. AI, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, virtual, okay. I'll note it down. Automation, okay. Then reformation, okay, great. Fourth industrial revolution, okay. Okay, when you hear the term fourth industrial revolution, what's the first term which comes to your mind? I don't need the explanation of Industrial 4.0, but I need the term which comes to your mind when you hear the term Industry 4.0 or fourth industrial revolution. That's it, huh? I know there are a lot of future managers are here, future entrepreneurs are here, so I'm expecting more reply from you. I'll wait here. I'm expecting more reply. Advanced manufacturing, great. Industrial practices related smart technology. I need a single word. I need a single term. Advanced manufacturing, okay. Opportunity, dynamic, okay. Business, okay. Disruptive, okay. Business, fine. Authentication, innovation, innovative. IT-enabled industry, post-COVID, okay. Okay, information, fine. Data, great. Transformation, great. Okay, robotics, great. Vishnu Lakshmi, PP. Then, you know, when we are writing examination, we get the term Industry 4.0. We used to connect different terminologies from a question and we write the answer, right? Even though if you don't know the actual answer. So like this, can you guess something? Sophisticated technology, digital manufacturing, okay. Challenging new ideas, great. Okay, I know you guys are thinking right now. Remote. Yeah, remote. Cloud computing. Remote. Okay. New innovation. Okay, Akshaya. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, now I'm going to divide this topic into three major categories. One is the history of industry, future expectations, new innovation, great Shruti. Molding machines, great. AI, Sangeeta ma'am, very good Sangeeta ma'am, great. Okay, I'm going to divide this topic into three major categories. One is history of industry and what is the current scenario and future of industry. When we augmented reality, great. When we talk about the history of industry, we need to go back several years, right? You know, in a few years back, അവിടെ അന്ന് താമസിച്ചിരുന്ന ആൾക്കാർ they have never realized that they are living in industry 1.0. I'm living in industry 1.0. കുറെ വർഷം കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോൾ we are living in industry 2.0. No. ഇപ്പോൾ the term industry or the industrial revolution has emerged most recently. So when we look past, when we look back, people were using certain kind of technology and we consider, okay, it is industry 1.0, and after a few years the technology has advanced and we consider this industry, okay, this is industry second industrial revolution has happened, so industry 2.0, okay, now we are in industry 3.0. So that's the way ee reethilana industrial revolution emerge cheyidullo. That was most recent aayittulla oru phenomenon മാത്രമാണ്. So when we look back to the history, industry 1.0, let's start the story with industry 1.0, because if you don't know the history of industries, we cannot predict the future. We cannot predict what is going to happen next. So we must know what happened before, and we must know what is happening right now, and we must know what is going to happen next. Okay, so in industry 1.0, can you guess at which year or which century the industry 1.0 or 1.0 has actually happened? From which year to which year? I'm waiting for your reply. Shindo Waki, chronological order, great. From which year to which year? I expect you don't Google it. Please don't Google it. Just guess. Industry 1.0. From which year to which year? 80 to 90, 1980 to 1990. Huh? Industry 1.0 is industry 1.0.
ഇത്തിരി നേരത്തെ പറഞ്ഞിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ഗൂഗിൾ ഇതെല്ലാം റെഡി ആയി വന്നിരുന്നേനെ.
1918 കുറച്ചുകൂടെ ബാക്കിലേക്ക് പോട്ടെ. 1918 ഒക്കെ വളരെ റീസെന്റ് ആണ്. When we talk about industry start ചെയ്ത വർഷം, ഒരു ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയാനായിട്ട്, ഒരു ബിസിനസ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയാനായിട്ട്, മാനേജ്മെന്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്ന ടേം ഒക്കെ ഇങ്ങനെ ഇവോൾവ് ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു വർഷം 1660 എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് കുറച്ചുകൂടി ബാക്കിലേക്ക് ആയാൽ മൃത, കുറച്ചുകൂടി 18th century exactly RSNCP. That is, I need the year. 18th century, very good. 1840 ആണത്. ഗൂഗിൾ നോക്കി തോന്നുന്നു 1840 ആണത് എൻഡ് ചെയ്തത്. ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0 എൻഡ് ചെയ്തത് 1840 ഇതൊക്കെ ഞാൻ ഗൂഗിൾ എടുത്ത കേട്ടോ. 14th onwards Reformation started. At which year? From which year? It is 70, 90 RSN. 70, yeah, of course, 70, 90. 1760 മുതൽ 1770 മുതൽ 1760 മുതൽ ഏകദേശം ഒരു 1840 വരെയാണ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയൽ റെവല്യൂഷൻ 1 എന്ന് കൺസിഡർ ചെയ്യുന്നത്. 1760 to 1840 ആ ഒരു വർഷങ്ങളാണ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രിയുടെ ഒരു ബിഗിനിങ് സ്റ്റേജ്. ഇറ്റ്സ് ദ ബിഗിനിങ് ഓഫ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രീസ്. വെൽ, what technology actually made industry 1.0 industry 1.0? ഏത് ടെക്നോളജിയാണ്? What technology has really made industry 1.0 the great? What technology? Shyam Prasad, not open Google. Okay. What technology? ഏത് ടെക്നോളജി ആയിരുന്നു ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0? ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0 ആക്കിയത്. I need the technology. Mechanization is kind of a mission kind of thing, but മെഷീനിൽ തന്നെ പല രീതിയിലുള്ള മെഷീൻസ് ഉണ്ടല്ലോ. What kind of machine or what kind of technology? I need the name of that technology. What kind of technology has actually made industrial revolution 1.0 the great? Mechanical production. Yes, mechanical production exactly. രണ്ട് പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട ഇന്നോവേഷൻ ഉണ്ടായിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നു. There are two major innovation which actually happened in industry 1.0. അതാണ് ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0 ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0 ആക്കി. ശ്യാം പ്രസാദ്, വെരി ഗുഡ്. സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ, എക്സാക്ട്ലി സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ, വാട്ടർ ആൻഡ് സ്റ്റീം പവേർഡ് മെഷീൻസ് ആയിരുന്നു ഇൻഡസ്ട്രി 1.0 ആയത്. ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ടേഷൻ ഹാപ്പൻ ബിക്കോസ് ഓഫ് ദ ഇന്നോവേഷൻ ഓഫ് സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ. സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ ഉണ്ടായത് കൊണ്ടാണ് ട്രെയിൻസ് ഉണ്ടായത്. ആൻഡ് ഐ മീൻ ട്രെയിൻ ഓടാൻ തുടങ്ങിയത്. സോ transportation has actually happened because of steam engine. So steam engine was the reason for industry 1.0. Steam engine and weaving loom ഒക്കെ ഉണ്ടായത് 1784 ആയിരുന്നു. ആ ഒരു സമയത്ത് the importance was given to manpower. You have very good physical strength, you have very good physics, you can work more and you can earn more. If you don't have that much physical strength, you cannot work. So ആ ഒരു ടൈമിൽ physical strength ആയിരുന്നു they give more importance. So industry 1.0 1762 1840 സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ, വാട്ടർ പവർഡ് വാട്ടർ സ്റ്റീം എഞ്ചിൻ ആയിരുന്നു കൂടുതലായിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നത്, കൽക്കരി പോലുള്ള കാര്യങ്ങൾ. ആൻഡ് ഏറ്റവും കൂടുതൽ ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് കൊടുത്തിട്ടുണ്ടായിരുന്നത് ഫിസിക്കൽ സ്ട്രെങ്ത് ആയിരുന്നു വർക്കറിന്റെ. ആൻഡ്
Siju, there is a comment from one of the participants. She doesn't understand Malayalam. If you could speak in English, it
Definitely.
will be helpful.
Definitely. And when we come to Industry 2.0, Industry 1.0 actually ended on 1840, and up to which year the Industry 2.0, 2.0 actually happened? Up to which year? Which year Industry 2.0 actually happened? It's 20th century? No, it's not 20th century. Yeah, it's 20th century. It happened in 20th century, 19th century to which year? Can you say an approximate year? Can you tell an approximate year? Till what year Industry 2.0 actually happened? 1945, okay. 2010, Nebu Kunju. It's not 2010 year. 1960, exactly, Shyam Prasad. 1960, 1980, in that period, actually, Industry 2.0 happened. And what technology, we know in Industry 1.0, the technology was steam engine, and what technology has actually made Industry 2.0 the great? What technology? Which technology? It's not computerized. We are talking about Industry 2.0, which actually ended on 1980, 1960 that time. Electricity, great. Power sources, what kind of power sources? What kind of steam engine is kind of a power source, and what kind of power source? Electricity is the answer. So electricity was the reason, innovation, electricity was the reason for Industry 2.0. And we know about Frederick Taylor. We have learned his principles of scientific management. And it was the actual milestone which happened in Industry 2.0. Great thinkers like Frederick Taylor's, these kind of persons have actually came on Industry 2.0. And at that time, industry started growing like anything. Even now, we are using some technology, so we are using some machines which are actually manufactured in Industry 2.0. For example, some vehicles, mechanical machines and all. And history refers this Industry 2.0 as the technological revolution. Technological revolution, and mainly it happened in, it occurred in Britain, Germany, and the US. These three countries, it has actually happened: Britain, Germany, and America. And after 1980, now the time has came. 1980, a great innovation has happened, and which led to Industry 3.0. After 1980, a great innovation happened. What's that? Shyam Prasad, great, that is computerization. Computerization, it's not automation. It's not automation. After 1980 to, we can say, to 2015 or 2010 or 2015, yeah, up to 2015, 4-5 years back, a kind of technology which was leading the entire world. A technology which was really leading the entire world, the technology which has revolutionized everything. Information technology, great. It has revolutionized everything from agriculture field to, it had started a new industry, that is IT industry. Yeah, that is information technology, computerization. It's not robotics technology, computer advancement in IT, computerization and internet, connecting between networks and all. From analog, it went to what? Digital. So, it led to automation in production, not full-fledged automation, but with minimum manpower, we can manufacture things with the help of machineries, with the help of computers and all. And renewable energy has came, and connectivity kind of things have came. But it's still happening right now till 2015, and it's also happening right now. Software development, great, Sugapriya. But still, it relies on human input and intervention, right? Without human input and without human interventions, we cannot manufacture in this technology, using these technologies, right? So now slowly, we are entering into another industrial revolution, that is Industry 4.0. Okay, now in the beginning of this session, beginning of this webinar, you have said many things which were innovation, artificial intelligence, automation, opportunities, innovation, software technology, remote cloud computing, and all. So now we are going to enter into Industry 4.0. That means a system without human intervention. Without human intervention, automatically a system will work and we'll get the desired result. That is Industry 4.0. It is the age of smart machines, smart watches, smart storage system, cloud storage system, by the way, and automatic information exchange system, Internet of Things, cloud computing, then artificial intelligence, a lot of things which is being developing right now in Industry 4.0. And which it is expecting, I'm putting some statistics, putting some data, that is between 2020 to 2025, an expected 2 million industrial robots, 2 million industrial robots will be installed in factories around the world. 2 million industrial robots. So that is Industry 4.0, right? Our topic is Industry 4.0, but I am jumping beyond that. I'm jumping into future furthermore. What is going to happen after Industry 4.0? Or what is going to happen, or what will be the extension of Industry 4.0? Can we call it Industry 5.0? If yes, it's just a, just a terminology, nothing else. What innovation in Industry 4.0, without human intervention, we can manufacture things, right? But in Industry 5.0 or the extension of Industry 4.0, what is going to happen? Can you guess? What is going to happen after the Industry 4.0? Industry 4.0? In Industry 5.0, we are, we are considering these innovations, or we are considering these, what do you say, industry revolution stages based on human resources. How efficiently we can use human resources, and how physical strength is required to manufacture things, and how mental strength is required to manufacture things. But in future, after, we can say after 2030 or 2035, what is going to happen to this world? Robotics, AI playing major role. Good evening, Dr. L. Aruna. Aruna, ma'am. Cloning technology reviews. Okay, great. Okay. Some apps control. Okay. Shindo Worky. Some apps control AI and machine learning improvement. Okay. That's happening in Industry 1.0. That is just a terminology that is just, and I need a small explanation what's going to happen after Industry 4.0. Geographical location, I didn't get the real meaning of what you actually meant. Geographical location, okay. Cyber physical systems, okay. Cutty words. We can simplify it. We can simplify everything. You know, what's the basic quality of a good teacher, or what's the basic quality of a good trainer? The most toughest portion is there, right? A good teacher will make it very easy, like a flower. He'll make it very easy to understand. So that's the quality, that's the basic quality of a teacher or a trainer. So my duty is to make you, understand in very easy manner with very simple language. So yeah, I'm expecting your answer. I'm expecting your answer, please type. What's going to happen after Industry 5.0? Suppose, for example, this mobile, right? In Industry 4.0, without human interventions, we can make this mobile phone. Right? So in Industry 5.0, or the extension of Industry 4.0, what's going to happen in the manufacturing setup of this mobile phone? That is the most trickiest question. Some program controls all actions. Okay. You can imagine, there's no limit for imagination. A few years back, a person had a vision to remove all the buttons from the phone and make a full screen. That was his dream. He made it. Likewise, you can imagine anything. Don't stick into the past, never stick into that. Avail real-time data. Okay. See, we are all unique, right? I'm unique, you are unique. My perception is entirely different. Sangeeta ma'am's perception is entirely different. Ragesh sir's, Bindu ma'am's, everyone's perception is entirely different. Everyone's taste and preference is entirely different, right? Now this mobile company is forcing me to buy this mobile, whatever the shape may be. They'll manufacture in a shape and they'll ask me to buy. I don't have any other option to customize this. Customization. This is the terminology which is going to, which is going to break the world like anything. Customization. So if I need a mobile phone, not in this shape, I need a mobile phone with in a square shape, in a perfect square shape. I can ask to the manufacturer, and there is something, what we called creativities can be bring only with the mind of human, can only bring human, right? I am asking you to solve a problem. I'm giving you some data, and I'm asking you to prepare balance sheet. Definitely, if you know how to make a balance sheet, I'm giving to 69 people. If these 69 people know how to make a balance sheet, you'll definitely bring one answer, right? If I'm asking you to write a poem on the topic death, Marana, I'm asking you to write a poem on the topic death, we'll get 69 different poems, right? That is creativity. So if I want something different, something personalized, something customized, I'll ask you and you will design it and you will put into the system, you will write some coding and you will make a mobile phone with a round shape, with square shape, whatever the customer's preference. This is going to happen in future. Am I right? Am I right? Do you have something to say? Do you have something to say on this? This is the really thing which we require. This is the really thing which we actually require. We don't need the product which is made by someone. We need the product which we really wanted to make. Yeah. Yes. So in Industry 5.0 or the extension of Industry 4.0, what's going to happen is repetitive kind of job. If the job is to take this mobile phone and put it here, take this mobile phone and put it here. It is a repetitive kind of job, right? Banking is a repetitive kind of job. You cannot bring any innovation, any creativity in banking. So in all the repetitive kind of tasks, definitely mission will play a major role. But in creative kind of thing, human interventions will definitely be there. So this is Industry 5.0. Both humans and robots will benefit from the new innovation. Okay, well, this is the past, present, and future of industries. Now, I'm going to enter into a very serious discussion. It's not a very serious discussion. I don't want to make it a very serious discussion, but automation can do repetitive jobs. Exactly, Vibin Krishna. In the journey from Industry 1.0 to Industry 1.5, a great, we can say it is a disaster. I would say it is an opportunity. A great opportunity has came in the name of COVID-19, Corona. This Corona has actually impacted all the industries within just few months, right? Within just 5 months, it has actually changed the classroom setup to this, mobile phone. We can easily communicate through this mobile phone. The term webinar, webinar term is actually after this COVID. Most of us, right? So my next question is, what are all the industries which severely affected by affected by COVID-19? After COVID-19, what are the industries which severely affected due to this COVID-19? Please type. What are all the industries which severely affected? Tourism, oh great. Tourism industry is severely affected like anything. If you ask Santosh George Kulangare, he knows it very well. IT, airlines, information technology, great. Restaurants, exactly, Rajesh sir. Travel agencies, Amrita, yes. What are the industries which severely affected? Logistics, yeah. All sectors, pharma and primary and secondary too, yes. Auto industry, yes. Yes. Then Then it is affected, yeah, it is severely affected. Transportation, great. Entertainment places, right? Film industry, educational institutions, hospitality, transportation, great. Event management, exactly. We can, 50 പേര് കല്യാണം നടത്തുന്ന അവസ്ഥയാണ്. Okay. And event management, then manufacturing, almost all the kind of manufacturing. Farmers, agricultural sector, yes, exactly. Then farmers, okay. Okay, I'm expecting few answers. Okay, almost stock Shruti restraints, right? Agriculture sector, construction, education, healthcare, manufacturing, real estate. Education sector is severely affected, especially private education sectors like coaching centers, bank coaching centers, PSC coaching centers, really affected like anything. They need to pay the rent for the building and they don't have any other income because students are not coming. But we are all management thinkers, but we are all leaders, right? So we need to find an opportunity in every economic downfall. When the economy is falling down, new opportunities will emerge, right? When the economy is falling down, new opportunities will emerge. My next question is, it's not a question, I've written some news which I've recently read. Some current happening in business industry after this COVID-19. There are some current things which have been happening in the world, in business world after COVID-19. If you know some news, please put it. I'll just go through it. Facebook, right? We know the relationship between Facebook and Jio, right? Mark Zuckerberg and Mukesh Ambani. So 9.9% stake of Reliance is bought by Facebook. Why? Why they have bought? Because it is going to revolutionize the future. It is going to revolutionize one industry, specifically one industry. Can you tell which industry is going to revolutionize? Facebook bought 9.9% stakes. Not a chillers of stake on 9.9% stake Facebook bought of Reliance. Which industry is going to be revolutionized due to this business or due to this purchase? Please comment. Facebook and Reliance Jio, Facebook and Jio. When they join together, what's going to happen? What is the major, I'm expecting a reply, social network and telecommunication industries. Okay. But one industry, they are actually focusing on one industry. We know Facebook owns WhatsApp, Instagram, and many more things. One industry is going to get revolutionized. Exactly, Bindu ma'am, that is the retail industry. It is retail. YouTube is not Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg's thing. It is Google's thing, yeah. It is the retail industry. How? Have you read the news that in Mumbai, in 3 places, that is Navi Mumbai, Thane, Kalyan, I think these are the 3 places, there Jio Mart has introduced. Jio Mart has came. What is Jio Mart? Jio Mart. It is going to revolutionize the retail industry. Suppose, for example, in Palakkad or in Kozhikode, for example, we know our campus is situated in Kozhikode. In Kozhikode, there are some manufacturers, there are some retail outlets, and Jio is coming there, and there are some customers also. And customers can easily go to WhatsApp, and they need to already feed a number, and they need to type hi, and they'll get a message, and inside that message there will be a link. Clicking on the link, they'll gather all the information of the customer, and they'll ask for the products which is available around Menonpara with lower cost. We know lower means in Jio's term, it would be, we know what happened when Jio has introduced, right? They've given some products for free of cost. Jio's aim is not to make huge profit from a customer. Jio's aim is to make a little profit from a customer and to enlarge the customer dimension. So localized e-commerce is the aim of Reliance. JioMart. And sooner, within few months, it is going to come everywhere, everywhere in India, even in Palakkad. But there is some trick is hidden inside this strategy of Mukesh Ambani. Of course, Jio has the technology. I mean, Reliance has, Facebook has the technology, that is WhatsApp. It connects people, and JioMart has the strategy, and they can connect farmers, manufacturers, traders, and the consumers with with a simple technology. So in future, if I'm running a retail outlet, I want to purchase some goods. I want to trade some goods through JioMart. If I am trading some goods to JioMart, they will provide me a boat. And in that boat, if suppose for example, my shop's name is Sharavana Store. Okay. In that boat, JioMart will be in the bigger font and Sharavana Store will be in the smaller font. So when you enter into a market, wherever you turn, you can see JioMart. This is the strategy of Jio. That means in every place, even if it is rural area or urban area, Jio's presence will be there with the help of WhatsApp or Facebook. So this is going to happen in near future. So this is the one news which we have read. And another one is WhatsApp is planning to give loans by associate with banks. Instant loans. There are many applications to get instant loans up to 1 lakh rupees. But WhatsApp is entering into get instant. We know about WhatsApp Pay, WhatsApp payment. You can simply transfer money using by just a few clicks. So WhatsApp is planning to give loans associating with bank. WhatsApp is not going to open a bank, but WhatsApp is going to associate with some bank, and they're going to provide some loans. And their aim is definitely to localize. And number 3, telemedicine is slowly emerging, right? If I'm a doctor, you are the patient, you are my patient, and you don't need to come to my cabin, my office, or my clinic. Through this communication, I can easily recognize, for an extent, I can easily recognize your disease, and I definitely, consult and give medicine, suggest some medicines. Life, Google Pay, I'm reading a comment. Life, Google Pay, Phone Pay, yeah, like Google Pay. It's not, I think, like Google Pay. In Google Pay, you cannot avail loan, right? In Google Pay, you cannot avail loan. In Phone Pay also, you cannot avail loan. But in WhatsApp, they are planning to give loans to you with minimum interest, small loans. If you want 5,000 rupees immediately, you can get it through WhatsApp. So that is a future plan. And for in the education sector, the term webinar has actually emerged after this COVID, and new platforms has emerged, that is Zoom, WebEx, and Google Meet. But this traditional classroom, or this online classroom is not a substitute for traditional classrooms, because it's not practical. We'll gather some information from this online classroom, but that human touch, human element will be minimized when we take classes through online. But for an extent, this is going to webinars will be grow and will be growing. And number 5, another news which I've heard is TCS is opting work from home method, and by 2025, 75% of its workforce will work from home. 75% of its workforce. That means they don't need to spend for an office. They don't need to spend for electricity. They don't need to spend for those kind of technology. You have a laptop. You have internet connectivity. You can easily work from your home. You can if you are running a company, you can easily reduce the cost, right? So those kind of remote working technology is going to be introduced. So this Google Meet is one of the examples for that, right? So this is currently happening, and this is just a slow movement. Excuse me. Yeah. And my another question. Now let's move into a discussion part. what is going to happen after COVID-19? What is going to happen in industries? I'm not specifying any industry, but what's going to happen in industry after COVID-19? Just type. Or for example, I'll tell you one thing. In agriculture sector, right? In agriculture sector, what are the changes which we are going to witness after COVID-19 in agriculture sector? This type. Recycling from industrial, yes, exactly, recycling. I'm noting this point. Okay, please type. In agriculture sector, I'm asking about in agriculture sector. Precision farming may catch eye, yeah, exactly. Then just consider group farming, yeah. When we talk about group farming, the term blockchain technology, blockchain technology, I'll come to it later. More machines are using instead of labors, okay, making let me just stick in Kerala. Let us stick in Kerala, right? In agriculture sector, what's the major change which is going to happen in Kerala? Specifically in Kerala, we know what's happening in Kerala. Self-sufficient methods, exactly, making new innovation in order to reach, okay. That will definitely happen sooner, but in Kerala, what do you think? What is actually required in Kerala in agriculture sector? In agriculture sector, good market for products. Actually, we are a consumer state, right? When GST is introduced, when the central government introduced GST, we expected we'll get more, income from GST because we are a consumer state, right? So we are a consumer state, and we realized that after this COVID, we realized that we cannot sustain for a long. If Kerala is still a consumer state, we cannot survive. So what is going to happen next? Exactly, loans and subsidies, sustainable development, adopt new technology competing with COVID. If you want to get vegetables, we need to depend other states, right? If you want to get the rice, we need to depend Andhra, Karnataka, right? If you want chili powder, turmeric, kind of masalas, we need to depend Pollachi, right? So what we are doing here in Kerala? So government recognized it, definitely government recognized it, and something is going to happen in Kerala agriculture sector. What's that? What we actually need is we need to copy from Ahalya, a self-sufficient village. Ahalya has everything. It has everything. It has everything from, you don't need to depend from others. Ahalya need to depend on others. It got everything. If Ahalya is this Kerala, no issues. Nothing is going to affect us. Am I right?
Yes, you're very much right. And I invite all the participants to at least visit once, come to the campus once. You will see this for yourself. Because Ahalya is an example of self-sufficiency. And we are the eco-friendly and one of the biodiverse campus in Kerala. So I warmly welcome all of you to our campus.
It is having almost 3,500 acres, right?
Yeah. I don't know the exact figure, but yes, it is vast.
No one knows the exact figure because that's huge it is. And you know what? Even electricity is producing there. What else we are required?
Yes, everything in fact.
Yeah. So we need a model of we need to adapt the model of what? Ahalya campus. So definitely government is going to give more subsidies. There are loans like PMEGP loan, which is actually a central government loan. In PMEGP loan, we get about 35% subsidy. There are a lot of things which is going to happen in Kerala. A lot of NRIs is becoming. I'm a YouTuber and I make business videos. So in daily basis, I'll get at least 10 calls. But still it's true. At least 10 calls from, from Gulf areas, and they're planning to come back because they lost their job or they don't have any assurance on their job, so they need to come back here. Only option is to do some business, and most of them are looking for agricultural products. So definitely government must provide, I don't know what is going to happen, but government must provide some subsidies and some support. Government need to start an incubation center actually. They need to provide everything. Actually, Anna Missionary Mart, which I am representing, I am the co-founder of Anna Missionary Mart, and we are actually planning to set up an incubation center in Kerala, which provides everything from the registration part to branding part of a business. So if you're coming here, and we'll provide everything. Should not be ambitious after this COVID and multidimensional methodology for development of agriculture through government. Yes, self-sufficiency is more important. If the government is not providing anything, definitely we need to start by our own. Definitely people are there to purchase our goods. People are there to purchase our goods for sure. That is all about agriculture sector. When we come to education sector, what are all the major things which is going to happen? Recently, when we read yesterday's Malayalam Manorama, we heard some news. We read some news. And what are the changes which is going to happen in education sector? There's no changes which is happening in education sector. A slight change happened only before 3 months. There is online learning, right? So, what are the things which is going to happen in education sector? I know we are all representing an education institution, Ahalya School of Management. So, it is the more important topic, I think. In education sector, what are all the things which is going to happen in future? E-learn, develop even from rural areas, digital class, online classes, new specialization, I'm noting that point. Okay, that's real-time problem solving. Okay, real-time problem solving. Is that connected to agriculture, education? A digital divide, industry-oriented courses, exactly Shamprasad, industrial-oriented courses is what is actually required in the present scenario. That's an issue here. What we learn is entirely different from what the industry is actually requiring. We learn a MBA and we go to a hospital. There's nothing will match with what we actually learned. That's why hospitality management specialization is there. Industry-oriented courses. Okay, time, please send. What are all the changes which is going to happen in education industry? You learn digital class, exactly. Lack of readiness and infrastructure for teachers. That's a problem. That's an issue. When we talk about the infrastructure for teachers, we need to talk about teachers. I'll talk. Because I am a teacher. Remodeling educational institution. Okay. More learning through internship, exactly. That is what is really required. Then only we can understand the industry. Wide use of IT-enabled mode of study. Okay. Then definitely the online classes will come. Online classes will definitely come, and new platforms is going to emerge for sure. And 4-year graduate program is going to introduce by UGC, right? You actually read it today's newspaper and I think yesterday's newspaper. 4-year graduate program, specialized program. If you want to do a graduation, a degree, you need to spend 4 years. It includes everything, even internship also. Multidisciplinary branches, it has actually happened, and you can get a degree from multiple universities. You can learn multiple things at the same time. You can learn multiple subjects at the same time. It's kind of Finnish education, like Finland kind of the worst education system is in Finland. We cannot move like Finnish education system. It took many years, even decades. And learn plus work. The college education timing has changed in Kerala, right? From 8:30 from 8:30 to 1:30, and after that they can go for working. They can go for project internship and all. So if you want, it's not like previous time. You don't want to sit in class. You don't want to hear lectures. For listening lectures, you have YouTube. You'll get amazing lectures from world class lecturers. But what you actually read is experience oriented learning. So that will definitely be provided by, is going to be implemented soon. Even children will be capable. Yeah. Some programs are here, there, yeah. Through using online classes, Google Meet, Zoom, etc. There will be some, Google Meet, of course, Google and Facebook are going to bring some new technology for sure for online, learning. Zoom is not that much effective. It's going to bring some new technologies. Okay, then we'll talk about teachers. I know there are some teachers here. We'll talk about teachers. What are all the qualities which is required for future teachers? If you want to sustain in the industry of teaching, what are all the qualities which is required? I'm very passionate about teaching, and I really wanted to be a teacher. I'm a teacher also. Dynamic, quickly adapt to change. Exactly, Shram Prasad. If you update their witness, okay. If you're not willing to update, you will be outdated. If you're a teacher, if you're not willing to update, you will get outdated. In recent time, some teachers, especially in school teachers, especially in school, some teachers used to say that I don't prefer technology. I prefer only button phone. I don't need internet. I don't need Facebook, WhatsApp, and it is really time-killing thing. And there are some teachers who don't actually like to change according to technology. They actually learned that technology is the most important thing in future. Update multi-dimensional personality should face all challenges. Exactly. Modern visual aids. See, suppose if you want to become a teacher, what are all the qualifications you require? What are all the things which you require? If you want to become a college lecturer, what are all the qualifications which you require? You need a post-graduation, entertainer, freelance. Okay, a teacher should be an entertainer. Okay, but entertainment, infotainment, I would call the term infotainment. Information plus entertainment, infotainment. Okay, should have. Okay, my question is, if you want to become a teacher, what is the qualification? If you have a postgraduate degree and if you have a UGC NET, you'll become a teacher, right? If you want to get UGC NET, you need to spend 2-3 months in a coaching center. You will get UGC NET. You can easily, become a teacher, right? But that's only a part. If you have the qualification, it doesn't mean that you have the quality to become a teacher. Qualification and quality are entirely different things. Qualification you will get through college education and examination, but the quality which you need to develop day by day, you need to develop. Not only for teachers, but in every profession, especially in teaching profession. You need some qualities to become a teacher through experience. Okay. Yeah. Experience makes man perfect. Experience makes man perfect. There are some people who are there, even though they got some experience, they are not willing to change. Right? So, what really makes a man perfect? There's nothing called perfection in life. According to me, I don't need to quote others, there's nothing called perfection. It is always called improvement, continuous improvement. I don't have any fear to face audience. I don't have any fear to face audience. It doesn't matter what the topic it is, I can speak. But I'm not that much good to face a camera. It's not easy to face a camera and talk. I make YouTube videos, but I know the struggle which I'm making before making this video, before publishing this in my channel, what I actually did is, what I actually did is, I used to, in early morning means, according to me, early morning is 6:30 a.m. I used to work up to 12 o'clock at night, and I wake up at 6:30. And I used to go to a nearby college, which is called Chittoor College, and there's a huge forest there. I used to go there with my mobile, and I hold like this, and I make 30-second motivation video. I made 100 videos continuously for 100 days. I updated in my Instagram channel, 100 motivation videos, 100 days. So when I compare my first video to the 100th video, I can witness a change. It is what we call continuous learning. We need to learn. We need to get feedback from people. I used to update regularly through Instagram and my WhatsApp status. So people used to comment me. I will take all those comments and I will improve my presentation skills. So if you are not willing to change according to the feedback, you will get outdated soon in the market. Okay. Aggressive thought. Exactly. I'm not commenting on those topics. Okay. So this is what is going to happen in education field. And when we talk about, I know it's 1 hour actually. I'll take, ma'am, when I shall want to end this webinar.
You can cover your topics as long as the participants are interacting with you.
No matter if I spend 5 hours through this webinar, because my passion is to take classes continuously. To be frank, using during few years back, 3 years back, I think, continuous NSS camp, 7-day NSS camp. So, all schools, I used to go there, and 1.5 hours school, so I used to continuously, I take to class from 11 o'clock to evening 4 o'clock continuously. So, even without food, because this is my passion. Again, it is the truth. It is my passion. Teaching is my passion.
And I also suggest you please type in your YouTube channel also on the chat box, because I would want to let all of you know that his videos are amazing. I am a regular I am actually a fan of his. So I watch all the videos. He creates one video every week, I guess, right? Or once in 2 days. And then he sends it to me, and I watch that. So I would request all of you, please watch his videos. He's so young, but then he has in the തലടകത്ത് നിറച്ച് ബുദ്ധിയാ.
എനിക്കിങ്ങനെ പതിങ്ങനെ പൊക്കുന്നൊക്കെ ഭയങ്കര ഇഷ്ടമാണ്. ഇന്നത്തെ പറയുന്ന പോലെ. I'm a businessman. And so, but I never started YouTube channel for earning money. It's been 2 years to reach 50,000 subscribers. Arju, you know that, you know him. Within few days, he reached 10 lakh subscribers. Now it is 20 lakh subscribers. I took 2 years to reach 50,000 subscribers, because my videos like that. It is more of an informative kind of video, channel. I'm a roaster. I'm not a roaster. I make videos to entertain and give information to entrepreneurs and business students and those who want to start a business. Okay, so I'm entering to another sector, that is automotive sector, automobile. What's going to happen in automobile sector? What's going to happen in automobile sector? In automobile. What's going to happen in automobile sector after this COVID? Because we know after this COVID, after this lockdown, a lot of things which happened in this environment, right? We can witness the mountain. Daily pollution has, it fall down. Economy varied. Okay. Automobile sector. This lockdown is a very good lesson for entrepreneurs. It's a very good lesson for government. It's a very good lesson for industry people. So in automobile sector, there are 70 people here, but I cannot see any messages. It's because of my network issue, or I know you people are typing. Public transportation will be reduced. Okay, public transportation will be reduced. And private transportation will be coming. Okay, fine. But what technology advancement is going to happen in automobile industry, in private transportation? We know it. No, we know it. But the speed is going to increase. A coming in, don't play. I'm asking about automobile industry. I'm asking about, electric vehicles. That's what I'm expecting. Environment friendly vehicles is going to come. Digitalization and AI, recently, few years back, Google and Uber were tying up together to make AI cars, car without human, car without driver, driverless cars. They were tying up to develop that car, and sooner it is going to come. I don't know when it is going to come in India. We know the situation here, because that kind of intelligence is required to ride vehicles in Coimbatore city, right, in near Ukkaram state. Hybrid, alternative fuels, electric vehicles definitely. Instead of fuel stations, electric stations will be coming. Definitely within few years, government will also give subsidies for purchasing those kind of machines, those kind of vehicles. Battery capacity. So environment friendly vehicles will definitely come. When the environment friendly vehicles come, that means battery enabled vehicles will come, right? Everything is becoming smart. Smart cars will be there. Smart watches will be there. Smartphones are already there. Smart home will be there. Smart fan is there. So everything is becoming smart. So as a future entrepreneur, I'm asking you a question. Find an opportunity when everything is becoming smart. You're planning to start a business, so you need a product. So everything is becoming smart. So find an opportunity where you can enrich like anything. You can grow like anything. Find a product when everything is becoming smart. Find a product. Everything is becoming smart. So there's an opportunity for you to manufacture certain things, manufacture certain product where you can make a lot of money, where you can shine like anything. A MBA person should be very creative enough, should be innovative. Creativity is the basis of leadership, I would say. Because if you're creative, people will come to you. That means you're becoming a leader. Mobilization, if it requires mobilization, one particular product is required to become mobilized. Software app, if you want to run a software app, a particular product is required. To run a software app, to run a mobile, to run a smartwatch, a particular product is required. I've given enough clues. Device. To run a device, we need a particular medical supplementary product. To run a mobile phone, we need medical supplementary product. Yes, Biddu ma'am, you are right. It is battery. So, battery business is going to hit like anything in future, I guess. Because if you want to run a watch, smartwatch, battery is required. If you want to run a mobile phone, battery is required. If you want to run a car, a battery is required, right? So battery stations, battery recharging stations, and battery manufacturing units will be the future. I don't know what's going to happen, but battery level provision solar. But again, solar is there. It should some battery. It should have some battery, right? I'll fill in it. So battery, any better idea. So battery sector is going to come forward, and the last sector, we are ending to the last sector, that is retail sector. We already covered it, but again still, in retail sector, what are the changes which we can expect in the retail sector? Please comment. in retail sector. Online sales promotion, okay. Online sales promotion will be there, yeah. Online shopping is going to be there, okay. Digital marketing, okay. Online shopping, digital marketing, okay. Then what are the changes is going to happen in retail industry? Unique features will be updated, okay. What is the strategy, or what is the, what do you say in the management terms, what is the business plan, or what is the supply chain of Flipkart or Amazon? Behavioral changes of customers. Let me talk about behavioral changes for a second. Do you think after COVID people will stop buying products? People will be very pishkan after this COVID? No, especially Malayalis, we know, right? Because lockdown time, when we enter into market, when we enter evening time, when we go to Palakkad town, you can witness there are many Swiggy and Zomato people who are running there, right? They were making profit like anything. They're getting so much orders. No, because people are there to spend. People are definitely there to spend. I don't think their behavioral changes is going to happen in customers. People are willing to buy the products, whatever the price it may be. But when it comes to industries, when it comes to industrial production, people definitely, for example, for an entrepreneur, we are manufacturing some packing machines and we are selling that. So people were usually asking that we need small machines, smaller machines, low cost machines. Our machines start from 1.6 lakh, but people ask small machines. So because people want to start small business within 1 lakh or 2 lakh rupees, small businesses. So in entrepreneurship, definitely, in industrial products, definitely people will be very choosy, but in consumer goods, in FMCG products, Malayalis are not going to change. I don't know what's going to happen, rest of the states. Okay, but what was my question? In the retail industry, right? So in the retail industry, definitely, as you said, online delivery will be there. And in Flipkart or Amazon, if you look into their way of transportation, production will be in Delhi, right? And the product will be reaching here in Palakkad. If I order a, suppose for example, a book or a pen, it will be sent from Mumbai or Calcutta or Delhi, right? So in future or in near future, local production will be there. Production will be localized. Local production will be there. Within few hours, the product will get delivered to the customers. That is the aim of JioMart. That is the aim of JioMart for sure. JioMart is planning to make products, to produce things localized. And another aim of JioMart is, we know Reliance has their own products, right? Reliance has their own outlets, Reliance Fresh, and there are a lot of products, Reliance Digital, and they are selling many products in their own brand. So in every retail shop, in every private retail shop, their products will also play a vital role. Their products will be there. So easily they can market their products. That is the strategical move of Reliance, according to me. I don't want to give that credit to anyone. Fine. So these are all the things. Price negotiable. Okay. According to customers' taste and preference, the change will be, taste and preference change will be definitely adopted. It will be centered in customers. In business, definitely it is consumer centric. But consumer is not innovative enough to provide products. We never wanted this product. When we had a touch phone, a button phone, we never dreamt of this kind of mobile phone, right? Someone has innovated this product and someone has injected that need to buy this product by me, right? Someone has injected the need to get this product. So innovation will definitely happen from the side of businessmen, entrepreneurs, and definitely, what to say? Yeah, that's it. Okay, so this is what I need to tell you right now, and we have covered. I'm entering. I'm just taking 5 more minutes. I'm entering into the final part of this webinar. We have seen many things. So that is the past history of industry, the current scenario, the future of industry, the future or after COVID, what's happening, what is going to happen, and what is happening right now. And my question is, I know there are young people here. They want to do something. They want to achieve something in their life. Sooner they are going to joining some organization to work. How to choose an organization, or how to choose your career? What are all the important things which you need to consider before you joining an organization, before you fixing a job? They don't know how to choose a job. They don't have a specific dream or specific dream to become a professional. But my question is, what are the things which we need to consider when we choose a career? I'm asking to the students. What are the things which we need to consider before we choosing a career? Because it is the most important decision, like marriage. If you marry someone, you need to live your life forever. If you are choosing a job, you need to live in that job forever. So it is the most important decision, marriage and job, marriage and career, two important decisions. So what should we do, or what are the things which we need to consider when we choose a career? Please type. Please type. 75 people are there. I'm waiting. I'm willing to wait. What are the important things we need to consider before choosing a career? I have the answer, but I need to get information from you so that I can put it in another webinar. I need to collect information. No, I want to collect information from you. So please comment. Please comment. Bindu ma'am.
പറയൂ.
I'm not getting any comments.
എൻ്റെ അടുത്തുനിന്നോ?
from the students.
Participants are they are typing. See, sincere in both. They feel that the working environment should be friendly enough.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I need to scroll. Yeah. So it's my mistake. Adaptation, dedication. I'm so sorry, guys. Our passion, interest, something or somewhere we can contribute. Job security, free working. I'll read one by one. Happiness, number 1 point. Radish, I'll note it down. Happiness.
Actually, Radish sir is a very senior person. He's actually quoting his experience.
Exactly, sir. Thank you so much for joining, sir. You see,
he's not an Ahilyan. He's not an Ahilyan. He's an HOD of another engineering college.
Thank you for being here. And satisfaction. Organization should need to consider our priorities, or should we consider the organization's priority, which is important. Opportunities for growth, interest, self-satisfaction. Okay. Willingness to work. We should be willing to work. That's the mandatory part. Interest, job security. In future, definitely you cannot expect security in job unless you are opting for government job. You cannot, look for job security. You cannot expect good environment too. Because some of my friends are working in Bangalore. Paladas opening on the dream finance institution. 10 lakh per annum salary to the institution. They're working there. They log in at 11 o'clock in the morning and they log out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. And they are earning pretty good amount of money. But they don't have enough time to spend that money here. Then why should they have to earn money here? So, sustainability. Even there, people don't even smile. You are considered as a machine to work. consistency. I'll tell you one thing. There are two types of people. One is those who don't have any passion, or those who don't identify their passion. They are the most luckiest person because they can work anywhere. They can work in any job, no issues. They'll be very happy if they get some salary, right? This is kind of a people. But there are another type of people who are very passionate about something. It is the most dangerous part of human being, passion. So if you are passionate about something, you will never get satisfied even if you get 10 lakh per annum. You will never get satisfied. Because you will never get satisfied if you get a luxury house. You will never get satisfied unless you are into that industry where your passion can, you can perform your passion. So I'm going to provide 3 points. The intersection of these 3 points should be your career. One is interest, talparyam. If you are interested in something, definitely that's the most important thing. Interest means if I'm drawing something, right? If I'm drawing something, if I started drawing at 10 o'clock in the morning and I completed drawing at 5 o'clock in the evening without having a meal and without going to toilet, I draw because that is my passion. If I'm taking class continuously, even without taking any rest, without any break, that is my passion. So if you are passionate about something, I know there are many people who doesn't even identify their passion. No issues. You are the most luckiest person. But if you identify your passion, keep that in your mind. And the second part is you're passionate about something, right? You're passionate about drawing and all. You really like to do such things. But you spend 5 hours to draw a picture. If you spend 5 hours to draw Bindu ma'am, for example, and you're showing it to Rajesh sir, and he's saying, oh, Sangeeta ma'am. The second part is aptitude. You need an aptitude to draw things. You need to aptitude to do certain things. Interest will come from other people. Okay, if he's working, okay, Rajesh sir is working as an admin in this place. Okay, I need to become like him. I don't know what his job. I don't know what his responsibility. I can see he's just enjoying in this cabin, right? So I can see Bindu ma'am. Oh, he's very happy. He's very energetic. I need to become like Bindu ma'am. There is just an interest. We were just witnessing other people's, their appearance only. We don't know what actually work he's doing or they're doing. So aptitude is another part. You need a very good aptitude. I'm very interested in talking. I'm very, very interested to take classes, but people don't understand what I'm taking classes. And if I start taking classes within half an hour time, 20 court-wise will be coming. So what will be the end result? I'm not a good teacher, right? So aptitude is another important thing. Interest is there, aptitude is there. Connect these two things. And another most important thing is, suppose for example, you are very interested in farming. You really wish to do farming, and you are really interested. You're very good in farming also. You got very good aptitude. You know the formulas and all, and you are living in near Kochi Metro. I don't know whether it's a possibility, but some other farmings are there. Opportunity is another factor. You need to study the market. You need to know the opportunity. Of course, I know that in training there are a lot of opportunities are there. My passion is training, and my passion is business also. So interest and aptitude and opportunity. These 3 things has to connect together. If you opt this job or if you opt this career, you will never work in your life. You don't need to spend. You'll never. You need to work 5 hours a day. You need to enter into office 10 o'clock and you need to enter out from office at 5 o'clock. This kind of work situation will not be there for sure. You will work, you will live your life. The work will vanish and you will just live your life. I'm not working here. I'm not working. This is not my work. This is my life. I'm fully dedicated my energy. I'm fully dedicated my entire day to this webinar, to taking this class. So this is what we call passion. This is how you need to choose your job. but that is not possible all the time. That is not possible all the time. In a few days back, a person called from Abu Dhabi. He is a driver there. He's educated person. He needs to start a business over here. He has very good vision what he has to do. He made a very good project report, and what to say? He went to he needs to make money. He don't have enough money to start that business. So he went abroad, Abu Dhabi, and he's working as a driver there. Driving is not his passion. He's working because he has an intention. He has an aim to do something. Because this is what you actually need to do. I always tell to students whenever I'm interacting, there are two things to become successful. Two important things. One is patience, kshama. Patience is the most important thing. You need to wait. You need to wait, and you need to keenly observe things. You need to wait. Patience is the most important thing. Patience matram pora, not only patience. You need persistence. You have a dream, you have an aim, you're telling it to Bindu ma'am. Bindu ma'am, this is my dream, this is my future business. It's not going to happen. She's discouraging you. You are going to Sangeeta ma'am's cabin and you are telling, ma'am, this is my project report, ma'am. How is it? What's your opinion? She's discouraging you. Rajesh sir is not even caring you. I have some other work. He's discouraging you. So I just got an example for funny. And you are talking to your family, discouraging you. I mean, discouraging you. I want to become a trainer. I want to start a business. Especially when I want to start a business. I want to start a boutique. Parents you're telling to your friends, your family, but people are discouraging you, but still you hold that opinion that you will become successful when you do that job, when you start that that business. That persistence should be there. Patience, persistence, and when I started my YouTube channel, the average views were below 100 per video. I need to spend 5 hours to make a video and edit and all these kind of things and upload. And the scripting element will take another 1 day, and I need to spend 5 hours to upload a video. My views is 100, below 100, and slowly it become 300, slowly it become 500, slowly it become 1,000, and now it become 2.5 lakh, 3 lakh, that kind of range for some videos only. So patience and persistence. It took 2 years. Patience and persistence. I was damn sure that Sanjarathile Santosh George Kulangara, if you know him, he used to say that etra varshangal kazhinjalum sanjaram will be fresh. You can translate into any other languages. Sanjaram will be fresh. If you watch, 10 years before Sanjaram, if you watch it right now, it seems like it's fresh. Technological changes will be there, but it is really fresh. So, patience and persistence. One more thing I would like to add, which I already mentioned, that is continuous learning. Continuous learning is required. If Sangeeta ma'am is telling an opinion, you need to put into your brain and think, oh, okay, she's telling it for our good only, and we need to consider that. Okay, I will mold in according to that way. You're getting some information from Rajesh sir. You're getting some information from Bindu ma'am, your family, your friends. Gather all the information, and if you believe that that is going to modify, that is going to change your vision, definitely go ahead. Definitely, change your vision. Continuous learning should be there. After COVID only, I started my business, to be frank. I had a business plan before COVID, that is online sessions, online classrooms. But after COVID, government started providing free sessions. Actually, I needed to charge for this webinar, but actually you can get this webinar for free of course from anywhere. So that kind of changes is been happening across the world. So according to the change, we need to change. Otherwise, we'll get updated. This is what I need to tell you. And if you have any doubts, oh my gosh, if you have any doubts, please ask me.
You can please, if you have any doubts, you can mention it in the chat box so he can read and then respond to you.
Yes. Shinduvati sir, thank you. Gobika, thank you. Rishmi, thank you. Shrampa sir, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Abhilash sir, thank you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If I know, I'll definitely tell you. Thank you so much. And my YouTube channel's name is Siju Rajan. My name itself, SIJU space RAJAN. You can see. And my contact number, I'll type my contact number in this chat box.
Okay, and meantime, a few of his teachers are available here. Okay, we have, I know that Mahadevan sir has not taught you, but he is the director of Ahalya Group of Institutions. Mahadevan sir is here. And then we have Dr. Ashokan. He is the principal of Ahalya School of Management. We have Sangeeta ma'am here. Sangeeta ma'am has taught you actually.
Yes.
And we have Rakesh sir. Rakesh sir was also there when you were there. So I would request all of these people to say a few things about this session. I would like to start with Mahadevan sir. Sir, are you here?
Yeah.
Sir, can you hear me? Mahadevan sir, can you hear me?
Mic off.
Sir, if you can hear me, can you?
Yeah.
Yes. We can hear you now.
Okay. I'm not coming on video because inspired by Siju's talk, I started walking. I was sitting for a long time and listening to you. Right now, I am walking with my mobile. Okay. It was a good talk. I don't know whether I have seen you, but next time when you come to campus, definitely we must see. Okay. Bindu has told me about your YouTube channel and how you are posting things, and it's very effective. We are very proud that a product of ASM is doing all these things very effectively.
Thank you, sir.
So wish you all the best, and go ahead fast. And this is the best time for you. I think post-COVID is the time for you. Okay.
Exactly.
Go ahead. All the best. Right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Right.
Thank you, Mahadevan sir. And Ashok sir, Ashok sir, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, Ashok sir, Dr. Ashokan is the principal of Ahalya School of Management. When Siju was studying, he was not there, but then definitely it's a proud moment for all of us. So Ashok sir, we would like to hear a few words from you.
So Siju Rajan, it was a wonderful session. I sat through the entire session right from the beginning to the end, and I was very, very happy to hear from you regarding this industry 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, 4.0, and the future of this industry. What will happen after COVID-19 and so on and so forth. This is a wonderful session, and I will definitely follow your YouTube channel, and I wish you all the best in the future endeavors which you are going to undertake. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashok sir. Sangeeta ma'am, are you here? Sangeeta ma'am, can you hear me? I think we have lost, she has lost connection, I guess.
Okay.
I don't see her here. And Rakesh sir, can you hear? Rakesh,
Yes, madam.
Yes. Could you please say a few words about your product?
Thank you. Siju, is a wonderful session by
you.
You and you was very much interactive and lots of comments from our chat box.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think one and a half hour. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
And one more thing, I want to inform all the participants. You remember, Siju, after 6 months of your study, you have started some part-time job in Assam.
Yeah. I started working during my college session also.
Yes. That was, I think, some enrichment to your career.
Exactly.
And all the participants, you should follow Siju's YouTube channel. I recommend.
Yeah. And I used to take, thank you, sir. I used to take classes in morning in Victoria Girls School, and I'll go back to college, and that's my daily schedule.
And one of your friend given some training to our admin staff. That was a wonderful training.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. See you, Siju. Thank you for coming here.
Definitely.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh sir. And I don't see Sangeeta ma'am here. I think she would have lost connection. We have a lot of problem with the connectivity nowadays.
Yeah.
Perhaps that is the reason. So, and I thank you very much, Siju, for coming here. I know that you are a very busy man.
No, you don't need to thank you. We are from family, right? So
yes, we are. Yeah, we are family. That is the reason.
I'm not a chief guest. I'm just a part of your family.
Yeah, because there are so many webinars we have hosted, but then we have to be always polite and formal. Here, I feel so at ease. I know that I'm not talking to a stranger. I'm talking to my God. So thank you very much for your time. And I have put up a Google form in the chat box. I request all the participants, please fill in that, and certificates will be sent to you via email. Just give us 2 or 3 days time. So within that time, we will send you the certificates. If any of you are not receiving it on time, please WhatsApp me. I will make sure that it is mailed to you. So thank you very much for all your time. And I once again I thank you, Siju, for being here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you.